car repossessions are at their highest level since the Great Recession, with millions of Americans losing their vehicles. CBS 8's Alex Sly joins us live in studio with what this trend could mean for the economy. Alex?
Well, Carlo, it means more people are falling behind on their car payments, and when that happens, lenders can step in and repossess those vehicles. Experts say it's not necessarily a sign of economic collapse, but it's definitely a warning sign that the economy is slowing down. More than 2.2 million cars have been repossessed so far this year, and that number is expected to top 3 million by the end of the year, according to the Recovery Database Network.
I think the biggest question we have is this a recession indicator?
It's a question dividing economists.
Some people think that we're headed for a recession. Other people think that will remain positive, but growing only slowly.
University of San Diego economics professor Alan Jin thinks rising repossessions doesn't necessarily signal a recession, but does show the economy is losing steam, especially in the job market.
If people then are not getting, the raises, if they're not getting the jobs, then they could be impacted then in terms of their ability to make payments, particularly with the cost of other products increasing.
With housing and food costs still high, Jin says many people are putting car payments lower on their priority list. He adds that this goes back to the pandemic, when many consumers had extra cash and splurged on cars. Those vehicles often came with high prices and high interest rates, leading to big monthly payments that some are now struggling to keep up with.
A lot of car buyers ended up underwater, that the car was worth less than the actual value of the loan. And so financially, it might have made sense for them then to default on the loan as opposed to trying to pay it off.
On top of that, today the average price of a new car in the U.S. is above $50,000 for the first time ever, according to Cox Automotive. And Jin says it's hard to predict whether repossessions will keep climbing or level off, but he notes that when Americans can't pay for something as essential as a car, which is often their main way to get to work, it is a sign that the economy is under stress.
Is this a true warning sign? In the past, have these types of spikes preceded an economic downturn?
They actually have. When you think about a recession, you think about jobs are being lost, which leads to missed payments. Luckily, right now, we're not seeing major job cuts yet, but Jin says if unemployment starts to rise, repossessions could accelerate even faster.
Definitely.
Okay, shalom. Kwam Yasha'Allah, Koholoimla, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakahakadash, and double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. And just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and Aqua that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes and commandments of Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan Nawaf just coming at you with another quick lesson and praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And, just grab a couple of precepts and, a couple of these comments possibly. And, hey, this is the fall of our enemy, man, really is what's going on. Let me get this real quick. In the Apocrypha, I was just watching one of the elders videos, and he was going into the economy and the job losses and all these tech companies that's getting rid of people. They talking about how AI is about to start taking over. Well, AI has stepped in and taken over a lot of jobs, man. When you go to places like Walmart, Target, all these other different places, even like, with self-checkout, you can go into a Walmart, motherfucker got 30 lines, but it's only 2 cashiers that's working the lines. Everybody else is in self-checkout. I seen one guy in Walmart the other day, and he was fussing and shit. He was like, God damn, you know what I'm saying? They making us, they should be paying us to swipe our own shit. He was like, look at this shit. He was complaining about the shrinkflation. He was complaining about how, how small the products that he had have gotten. I was like, well, shit, yeah, they've been doing that for a minute, but that's called shrinkflation, if you know what I mean. But let's get this real quick. And it's only going to get worse because America's just on a downward spiral that it's not going to come back from. See, Trump, he can actually say, well, give it some time. We're just covering what the Obama administration done it took them years to get us here, so it's going to take us a little time to get out. But in the meanwhile, he can say that all the way through his term. You know what I'm saying? And people will believe that shit. You know, a lot of these megas, they believe that stuff until really it's starting to be a downturn in that belief. They're starting to look at Trump like he's not this motherfucker lying. So you're about to start seeing a lot of these megas turning on Trump. You know what I'm saying? But let's just get this scripture, Ecclesiasticus, also known as the book of Sirach, chapter 25, verse 7. Says, there be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. And that's what we're witnessing right now. The fall of our enemy, the economy, the crash. Because this place is crashing and burning, man. It's not what it used to be. Yeah, things going to get a lot more tight, man. People are gearing up right now for November 1st. We'll see how that's going to roll. I know they're saying some states are going to still be, active as far as the SNAP programs. And some states are not. So I'm not sure, which states are what states or whatever. But anyway, that spirit or that propaganda of robbery and theft and stealing and rioting, you know what I'm saying, to get food, that has been placed out here. You know what I'm saying? So you're starting to see a lot of these TikTok videos, YouTube videos, and mainly who they're showing in those videos are the so-called black woman running her damn mouth, incriminating herself, you know what I'm saying, talking about what she's gonna do. You had this video that's circulating right now, the 2 Eves, you know what I'm saying, got the asses with the mug shots for stealing some goddamn crab legs. Like, goddamn, you going out to steal some shit that's unhealthy for your ass. Big ass faces. They were some, Eve, obese. So when it straight comes down the pipe, man, a lot of people, man, it's about to get crazy as fuck out here. So this is why we, bring out that scripture all the time. 1 Thessalonians 5:17. And it's simple. Pray without ceasing. Pray without ceasing. And see, that's why these scriptures come so in handy as well. Because the Lord said, this Isaiah 33:6. It says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of all times, of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure, right? So this wisdom, this knowledge and understanding, goes a long ways. I mean, it's everything. I can't even say go a long ways. It goes the length and around again. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lord said to be content, with what you have. And a lot of, and because who you think is losing these cars like that? Yes, a lot of men that's losing these cars, but I'm willing to bet you the percentage of women that's actually getting their cars repossessed is far higher than the men, because men really only buy cars like that, to kind of front, for the women, so to speak. They like to stunt, you know what I'm saying? If you got it, nothing wrong with going to get you a nice vehicle, but I mean, you can actually go and get you a nice vehicle, be used. Well, shit, even the used vehicles are through the roof now because no one's buying the the newer vehicles. You heard the lady in the news cast. She said that or the data or the report, and trust me, I know because I deal with with this type of stuff at work. And me and a coworker of mine was talking about the prices of cars or whatever, and we seen one that we deal with. And he was like, well, yeah, you know what I'm saying? That car might be about. I said, shit. I told him, shit. I said, nah, bro. I said, that car is easily starting at, 60,000, 65,000. And he was like, nah, man, get out of here, man. Car ain't, So guess what he done? He went on Google. He Googled that vehicle. And I'll be damned, a price sticker stamp wasn't exactly what I said. I almost hit it on the nail. So that's why you don't see any of these vehicles moving like that. You don't see these car lots are not moving vehicles like that. It's people that's going to get them, but it's people, that's not making the right decision. Going out. Why would you go and get a car, and you're extending car payments? 85, 80 or whatever. Man, they got They got motherfuckers paying for cars for like, it's a chick that I work with. Doofy as hell. This motherfucker got a car, man. That car is all the way toward as shit right now. And she still owe like 4 years on that bitch. I'm like, why the fuck would you get a car and stretch out the payments that long? But it was because it made the payment cheaper for her monthly. But she wasn't thinking that, and that's, women, man. Single fucking women, ain't got no man, hard-headed as hell. Don't want to listen to nothing. I don't even try to talk to her about certain stuff because it's just, she's headstrong on her thinking she's right. But every time she's saying something, I just ignore that shit now. Like, just thinking to myself, like, stupid as hell. You got a car, that motherfucker sitting up, don't even work no more. You've been paying her. So I know the hookup on these cars to a certain extent. That's why, man, hey, man, get you something used, man. Go and get that shit tuned up. The oil change, because you can have a mechanic check on something, you know what I'm saying, for a couple of bucks. You know what I'm saying? If you know somebody in your family, definitely you take your brother, that's why men come in handy as well. But you got a lot of these guys, they don't know nothing about no cars like that really. But overall, take the car, go get the car checked out and ride that bitch, man. Get you some no fault so you don't get stuck up or fucked up, riding in the city. Because you know how I go. Esau, he on our ass. Because these Edomites, they can ride forever without any of that shit. But see, they didn't clamp down on all that. They got different color stickers for different months. They know all that shit. Police can pull right up behind you. Don't even have to pull your ass over. They running your plates. License plate readers are all over the fucking place. So they know if you out here riding dirty or not. So go and get the little no fault. Get you a used car. Get the little no fault. Tune that bitch up and ride that bitch. Hold you some money to the side. Try and put you a little cash to the side, in case you might fucking need a new tire or need a tune-up, because you want to keep it tuned up. That's the main thing. You want to keep your oil changed. You want to keep, that motherfucker running as long as you can keep that bitch running. See, a lot of these women, they drive that fucking car on the ground, man. I see a bunch of brand new cars, man. Be looking like, God damn, that's like a 2023. That motherfucker, man, front end gone, back end gone, doors all scraped up. And then they just get to a point where, once you get that first ding, because, Jake, they go and get these cars. And it ain't just Jake. It's all these nations of people. They go and get the car. They have just enough money to get the full coverage, to get the car off the lot. From there, they don't have no insurance. That's why you'll see a lot of these cars, they all fucked up and shit. You be thinking like, well, all right, well, damn, it's a new car. Why don't you, you was big balling, rolling up and down the street, looking at everybody else on the bus. Well, here you go. You don't even have the insurance on your car to get your shit fixed when it's dinged up. Now you got anyway, that's a whole nother hookup. But, I mentioned that. There's a few scriptures on being content, but that's what, you see these, they're not content. Go get you a regular little whip, man, and just, pray, thank the Lord, man. Shit, man. We're living in days where it's about daily bread, man, getting it from day to day. Where is that? I think this is it right here in 1 Timothy. Let me just start at verse 6. Let me see how it reads in the New Living Translation. It says, yet true godliness with content is itself great wealth. Yeah, man, godliness with content. You have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and you're content. But with that, being content comes with knowing the scriptures. Being content comes with, well, this is what the Lord said. We know that we're here just for a period of time. We know that we're about our daily bread. Now, does that mean you make foul moves and you don't, do a little planning for the future, so to speak? You know what I'm saying? Because we don't know what's going to happen. That's what I'm saying. Put a couple of things, put a couple of dollars to the side if you have it. Like the elders was going off into a video today where he was talking about, hey, man, right now with what's going on, hey, put you a couple of extra canned goods in your pantry, man. Grab you a couple of extra meats for your freezer, whatever the case may be, if you can. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, we're not dependent upon our might. We're not dependent upon a job like that, but the scriptures does say if a man doesn't work, neither shall he eat. And we understand that it's the Lord that gives us breath. He's the one that helps us to see, hear, and, get up in the morning, be able to move about, and he's the one that's over our health and, you know, giving us a place to stay and a damn car to drive and all this stuff to begin with. We understand that, but you got people that get up on a day-to-day basis, prideful as hell, actually thinking that it's them that make the world move, and it's not about them. But, you know, being content goes a long ways, man. You know, just, you're not living outside of your means. You're not, you know, this nigga, I've seen it over and over again, even before I came into this truth. You got people that had the freshest clothes on, right? Motherfucker got the watch, he got the chain, he got the glasses, he got the car, or she. You just riding your regular little hoopty. You don't go and splurge too much, but guess who's borrowing money from who? They're borrowing money from you. And the scripture talks about, you know what I'm saying, you know, you know, you, a motherfucker like that, man, should you, hey, you need to go sell some of them things that you got. You ain't about to get my money, because scripture talks about how they won't give it back. But they front. They online, they front, look at me. But if you're being content and you're going along with these scriptures, like how the Lord said, you're going to be secure, man. You know what I'm saying? Like the Lord, he's your security. He loadeth us with benefits daily. That's that scripture that talks about that. Here you go. You got Jake, Eve out here fussing about food stamps, some damn benefits. But the Lord said that he loadeth us with benefits daily. He's the one that looks out for us, man. Even though Esau, he's in control of the program, the Lord placed him in control of the program. So he can't do no more than the Lord wants him to do. He can't, you know, pull away or give more than, you know, no, the Lord is in control of those programs, man. Right? But let me go back. Verse 6 again. In the NLT, yet true godliness with contentment is itself great wealth. After all, we brought nothing with us when we came into this world, and we can't take anything with us when we leave. So if we have enough food and clothing, see, let us be content. But people who long to be rich fall into temptation and are trapped by many foolish and harmful desires that plunge them into ruin and destruction. And that's the perfect scripture. I can end out right there. Because what was they saying about the people was getting those loans? The car wasn't even worth it, you know. Especially, see, and that's what the apostle, the beloved apostle Tahar, he was speaking on this yesterday about, I think Trump was talking about giving the Americans, I don't know, like $1,000. I don't know. I've heard a few different things, $1,000, you know, from supposedly this tariff money that he's making. And that's just to quiet people down. That nigga ain't giving up no fucking money. You know what I'm saying? But let's just say he did, from what the apostle was saying, and he explained it and broke it down beautifully, is that that shit gonna send this bitch into hyperinflation. It's not gonna do but make the prices of everything go up. Just like it did with COVID-19. When they was giving out those stimulus checks and giving that money out, everything started to go up. And guess what? That shit ain't went down since. Why? Because they knew you had more money to spend. And if you have more money to spend, they're going to take the prices up. And you think that all of a sudden it's just going to take the prices down? They barely be wanting to cut the price on the shit, and they know that the damn food is about to expire. they you know what I'm saying? They'll still keep that shit at the same price up until the day of, when they put the shit on sale, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month ahead. Then people would go ahead and buy the shit. You know what I'm saying? And it won't go to waste. No, it just is what it is, man. This is the economy that you're living in. So you got people out here right now trying to hide a car. Trying to hide a car somewhere. I'm going to keep my car over here at my girl crib. You know, no, can I bring my car? You know, they already know every place that you fucking live. These people will ping your shit. They'll ping your... They know where your mama live. They know where your grandmama live. You know what I'm saying? They know where your uncles and... You know, they done ping the car everywhere that you'd have never been in it. And that's the thing with this new tech, too. That's the thing with this new technology. This new technology, if you got one of those newer cars, they can ping every fucking where that you've ever been. Now you trying to hide the car. They ain't gonna, you know, no, Esau... He on that ass, man. Especially with these newer cars. By the time they try and phase out these, man, it's cars everywhere. And I just be thinking to myself, because like I said, I'm in that industry. I'm thinking like, well, goddamn, y'all making millions of cars a year, like, and they just sitting. You moving them from this location to that location. You moving them from this location to that. You know, you going back to that location. You moving them again, and you can just see. Sometimes if you just ride by certain places, you'll just see thousands of fucking cars, man. They just leasing and renting out parking lots from. I tell you what, if you got a place where you got some land and you get into parking, you can make some fucking money just from parking, man. Because these car dealerships, not car dealerships in general, but them too, hell. But the car manufacturer or the maker of the car, they need places to park those cars. Here you go. You ain't got rid of no 2020s, basically. 2021, 2022, 2023, but you got a 2025, 2026, we already dealing with 2028 cars already in the industry that I'm in. They already produced. They already out here, ready to go. They just testing them and getting the kinks out. Nobody's buying these fucking cars, you know, but yet and still, motherfuckers still making them. But anyway, I just wanted to just kind of touch on this subject real quick, and so many other things you can get out of that particular video with that news story or whatever, because, you know, yeah, it does have something to do with recession. It does have something to do with the economy. You know, they're crashing this fucking economy, man, on purpose, bro. You know, so we're dependent upon, you should be totally dependent upon Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Straight up, man. Don't be out here living beyond your means. Nobody needs a new car. I prefer to have an old ass car anyway, so I don't fucking be tracked, man. All that tracking shit in there. You know, I remember the movie I, Robot. You know, everything was trackable. But remember Will Smith, he had the motorcycle. A gasoline. He had like the only gasoline vehicle in the fucking movie. Because I think the lady that jumped on the back with him said something to the extent, this gasoline gonna explode. Or some shit like that. But anyway, yeah, man, you know, all this tech shit, man. I mean, I get it. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Some of that shit is, I ain't gonna front, it's nice. It's some, you know, some very nice pieces, some luxurious type of shit, you know, that's out here. But man, I'd rather wait to the kingdom, man. Ain't nobody, I mean, you know, when you come into this truth and you get into it, you just see it as nothing, man. That shit is nothing, bro. All that fronting, all that I gotta, and look at how people treating themselves and doing themselves to get those things, man. People out here worried about whether or not they juggling the money now. It's either they're gonna pay the rent, they're gonna get a little bit of food, they're gonna pay a little bit on this credit card, they're gonna push this bill off to pay this bill, they're gonna push it, they juggling bills, man. Who wants to be like that? Why not just go ahead and just be content, get the couple of things that you need, go to work, do your thing, be content. Nothing wrong with going out here and there, you want to have a good time. You know, nothing wrong with going to getting you something nice if you want, you know, if you can afford it. Nothing wrong with that stuff. But all that you got the latest, the 2020, man, or 2025, anything right now gonna hit your ass over the head. You be out 100. The cheapest car, the cheapest bull, and they not making these cars out of shit no more. Shit, you gonna try and get one of these fucking these SUVs? That's 100 easy. That's bare minimum. That's the bear truck with the bare minimal stuff in it, man. You gonna try and get you one of these fucking Wagoneers or Silverado or one of these new F2 150s, 250s, your Rams, your Broncos, man, all that shit. And then here you go, you and Jake in the hood with shit like that, with no garage to even park the motherfucker in. He parking the shit on the front grass, man, looking out the damn window all night with a camera on his shit, man, with his Ring doorbell, watching the car, man. Someone's at your front door, man. Like, God damn, bro. Anyway, though, man, I didn't want to keep this long. It was just something that I seen. And hey, the economy is ass. Let's check out some of these comments and I'll end out. It says, this person says, not the economy, the black market is what's slowing down, hopefully, to a crawl. Yeah, I don't know about all that, bro. Somebody says, Trump economics, nobody can afford anything. People losing jobs, yeah. Somebody's handle is 1929 is coming. You have no idea what you're saying. You do not know automation is in. It's the Industrial Revolution all over again. Don't waste your time worrying about Trump. Look for ways to move forward in this new economy. Well, hey, Trump is the new economy. He's a part of your new economy that's coming in. And that new economy that's coming is a digital economy. And it's gonna be chipping you motherfuckers, man. You're gonna be integrated with that very car you're going to try and get. Or the 15-minute cities. Well, this person says, well, if the automakers and the financial companies weren't so greedy, repos wouldn't happen. Yeah, right, man. Hey, well, you know how the people can handle that, but they won't because there's no togetherness. All they got to do is be like, man, we ain't buying that shit. And pretty much that's what's happening right now. So eventually, these people are going to be sitting on a bunch of fucking cars. They're going to get all fucked up anyway. You can't let new cars sit like that. That's why they move them pretty much overall. Because like I said, I'm into that industry, man. I remember when COV19 went down, we had a fleet of our cars sitting for, I'm not sure how much time, but I know it had gotten cold. It was, during the winter, you know what I'm saying? And shit, by the time we got back to those cars, man, after they, allowed us to get back to work and all this other little shit like that, the fucking rotors was done, the damn brakes, a bunch of shit was going on, that just needed to be replaced. Had rusted out, so to speak, or was malfunctioned, so to speak, because they're not making these cars like how they used to make a damn car anyway. So they have to kind of move them, keep them warm them up here and there. But if you got thousands and thousands of cars, and then that's the reason why you'll have a lot of these recalls as well, or a person going to get a car like my neighbor. He just went and got a, what's that? Maybe about a 2020 Jeep. Just got the bitch. Week into having it. He just got it back, actually. Week into having it. That motherfucker went on him, man. You know what I'm saying? And it was, didn't have a lot of miles on it or nothing like that. It was used. But, I think it was like a 2020, a Jeep Cherokee Limited or something like that. But shit, man, they had to put a whole new engine in that bitch. I was like, damn. He's like, yeah, it's warranty. I'm like, yeah, you lucky. But even with that, he's making payments on a car that actually needed a new fucking engine as soon as he got it. He only drove it for like 2 weeks. Because, I was trying to help him, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, shit, man, I don't know, bro. As far as jumping it and doing all this little checking, whatever. No, he needed a fucking engine. So a lot of this stuff that people, and then a lot of these cars too, you don't even be knowing, man. People don't, especially with these women, man. They don't know how to check and see if you done bought a car and that bitch was in a flood. Because a lot of these upstate, they'll buy a lot of those cars that be in those floods in the South, Texas, and all these different places where they had those floods at. They'll buy those cars, man, and bring them bitches to a whole nother state, clean them bitches up, and here you go thinking that your shit is good, and you don't know that shit done been in the flood and it's done broke down on your ass, and you still got to make a payment. So, it's a grimy world, man. Insurance is through the roof right now because of, people doing insurance jobs. I remember back when they was doing that shit. So now, all of a sudden, everybody that's honestly paying some damn insurance, they got to pay more because of the fucking criminals, man. So all that shit is going on, bro. All that shit is going on. I'm paying the insurance. Crazy, bro. So, hey, again, daily bread, man. Being content with what you have, man. Praying to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai for your daily bread, your needs, and your bases to be covered, man. Like, for real. All this shit is not even that serious, man. Because like I said, once you come into this truth, it's like, I don't even hang with the same people no more. Don't need to even have the same look or trying to, just that whole, you gotta have the newest this, new, man, fuck all that shit, man. I'm very happy and very at peace with just chilling, man. Not that I can't get up and just do some things, you know what I'm saying? But I like to just post and chill. I was kind of homebodied anyway. But yeah, man, just pray to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man, for your daily bread, and be content, man. Be thankful. Be thankful, man. Say the water to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. I don't give a fuck if your shit, pushed in the back or pushed in the front. Goddamn it, that bitch starting it run. You know what I'm saying? You own it. You own it. That shit goes a long ways right now, man. Straight the fuck up. Straight up, man. So I'm going to end out there. I pray that the lesson was edifying with that. From Yeshua and a bubble ball.